Riverside Healthcare puts the health and wellness information you need well within reach.
Welcome to the Well Within Reach podcast. I'm Carl Moronich, and today we're going to be talking about Theraplay and how that's used here at Riverside to help kids out. And I've got two great Theraplay counselors, I'll use that term until they correct me, with us today on the podcast. Kelsey Kerrigan and Jesse Otto. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Let me start with Jesse and ask and have you both kind of talk a little bit about your background.
My background is I'm a licensed professional counselor. I've been a counselor for about 6 years now. I graduated from Olivet here.
Oh, very good.
Oh, all right.
Go Tigers.
I set up groups for segregation for prisons for my first job out of here. So I set up to release from segregation, and then I worked at a residential. I was lead therapist at a residential in Champaign, and I was recruited to work for outpatient clinician.
Here at Riverside. Very good. And Kelsey?
Yeah, so I am a licensed clinical professional counselor. I've been a counselor for about 8 years. I actually moved to the area from northeastern Illinois.
Okay.
I got a job at a residential treatment facility and moved down here for that job. So I was a therapist there before becoming a clinical supervisor for a while. And then I actually got to open a program for boys ages 10 to 14 with a lot of emotional behavioral dysregulation, trauma history. So Theraplay was always something on my radar, but not something we ever got trained in. So I was super excited that we did that. And then probably about 3.5 months ago, I started with Riverside.
Oh, very good. Well, welcome. And some great experience for both of you. So you're able to bring that to Riverside and to the Theraplay program. And let's start by talking about what Theraplay is. And Jesse, you want to start and kind of give a little definition, if you will, or examples of what Theraplay really involves?
Yeah, so Theraplay is trauma-based, trauma-focused treatment. It's hands-on. It's another way to get adolescents or older teens to talk while you're doing something and playing with them, to give them that like encouragement. And it's fun, so it's not everything so serious, and gives them that ability to be encouraged. And it's just for trauma-based, because sometimes you just need to let them play.
Sure. Kelsey, anything to add to that definition?
Yeah, a lot of times when you have kids with trauma, they don't regulate their emotions or behaviors very well. So the activities that you would do in Theraplay actually help them practice regulating their emotions and behaviors.
Yeah.
So sometimes that helps them control anger better, have better peer relationships. And really, they say you can do it with all ages. We're just doing it with our adolescents right now.
So what age group is that?
11 to 17.
Okay. Great.
But you can really do it with anyone. And we do it in a group setting, but you can also do it with just you and one other person. You can do it with families.
These are kids that are part of the Pathways program going through. So really it's another tool to use to help help in their progress, right? So let's start by talking a little bit about how you train specifically for Theraplay. You learned so you can teach, if you will, and use Theraplay in part of your therapy.
We went to Kankakee School District. We did 2 days. We practiced. We even ran groups. We practiced the groups. We learned the history of it, the rules.
Let me ask this. I mean, you're both professionals already in this field.
Yeah.
Was this training vastly different from the kind of training you've been exposed to through other things that you've learned as part of your career?
Not entirely. I mean, my background is in trauma, so a lot of the science behind it was similar. A lot of the ideas behind why you do it and the purpose of it and even the benefits of it were the same. So it just kind of gave me additional ideas and additional tools.
Sure. Now, for those who may not fully understand when we say trauma, what the variety of things we could be talking about. But when you say that a child that's been through trauma, give us some examples of some of the things that could include.
It's subjective, so trauma is different for everyone. A lot of people think of like being abused, being in natural disasters, a terrible car accident, but it could be divorce, family conflict, witnessing someone else go through something very scary. So it's a variety of things, and I think the impact of trauma and kind of the pervasive nature of it is just now being realized. So school systems didn't really have it incorporated in their models and things like that. So that's why it's really wonderful that Kankakee was doing this. To get that in there.
And as you said, trauma is different for everybody, and how people internalize things, especially kids, can be very different for different kids,
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
So through use of Theraplay, how in a group setting you have kids that have been through different experiences, how does Theraplay, or how are you able to use it to impact a group in which you might have kids who've gone through very different experiences, yet this is really going to be a benefit to all of them. Does that make sense?
So Theraplay doesn't have any processing to do with it. So if I'm understanding your question right, we're not talking about the different traumas. The kids don't usually talk about their traumas like in the Theraplay.
Sure.
It's more like, let's see how you complete this task that we're doing. And we're visualizing how the kids can do it, how they encourage each other, how if they help themselves, whether if they're helping somebody else. It's more of like their behavior. And then if it comes out like later, like, you know what that made me think of later on when you're talking to them, sometimes like a one-on-one therapy session, you would talk about how that makes them feel. But in the group session, I think more with the Theraplay, we're looking at it of how they're encouraging and how they're helping one another, how they can get along, how they're getting frustrated with themselves. When are they moving? When are they like, I don't want to do that? You know, some kids, they back off. Some kids get louder for attention. And that's how we come in and we can kind of see how they're reacting to that. They don't really go over their traumas. So I think any trauma with children who can't speak about their trauma because they have such a hard time, it comes out in their behaviors. And that's how we recognize it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I wasn't assuming that there were specific traumas would be dealt with in that setting. But yeah, I think that's a great way to illustrate it. Let me ask, Riverside is fairly new to Theraplay. It sounds like it's been a few months. But what have you seen so far that really indicates and shows you that it does work?
Child, he's gone through a couple things, but he came in the first day and real low mood. Just an example, real low mood, didn't want to participate, felt kind of nervous, just kind of like you thought he was just a little labile, didn't understand things. But then next day we did Theraplay, and because we do our Theraplay at the end, and then we do Theraplay, then we have another group, like a skills group. He did Theraplay, and it was like a whole nother kid. It gave him the confidence to open up, and it gave him the confidence to be like, tell jokes and laugh with the other kids. So you see a difference afterward. They're like, oh, and then this happened, and then they're just like really excited about it. So I think that was
cool. Yeah, that was really
cool.
But
a lot of kids, we do see a lot of difference. They open up afterward, because I like that we have group afterward, skills groups, and they talk about it like, remember when you did this? And then they kind of bounce off. You can see a difference. It gives them that confidence, I think.
Yeah, and you're also having positive interactions with them. You're showing them that you're in charge. You're going to keep them safe. You're going to nurture them. You know, and not all those kids have had that. And even if they have had it, they always want more. Everyone likes to be nurtured and taken care of. It lets them have a lot of positive peer interactions too. Our kids, they're stressed, you know, they have trouble making friends. So it builds some group cohesion too with that. And really it does. I mean, it helps them kind of get ready to continue going about their day and going about the next group by getting them calm and getting some of that energy out if needed.
What has been the response with parents, if they were skeptical, or if you detail for them on the front end of what the kids are going to be going through and what Theraplay is, and how has it been received with the parents?
It's been so recent. We've only had about 3 weeks of doing it. So we've had the same kids that haven't discharged yet. But I have been telling the parents when they come in that we're going to do Theraplay, and the parents that have had their kids in the system a while, it's kind of like, oh, you are? What kind of things do you guys do? And then I kind of explain the Theraplay, like we can encourage them, and then we sing songs, and everybody kind of helps each other finish the game. It's not really games because it's not a competition. It's more everybody's equal.
You're just playing.
And they seem to be, oh, that seems like, oh, so you'll have a good day, you know. So the parents seem to be excited that, because the kids are nervous when they first get there. So when I say, oh, but we play on last day of programming, or we give you that good oomph before the weekend, and then they're like, okay, and the kids seem more relaxed. So it seems to be received well when I tell them what we're doing, but we just haven't had a 3-week result. But we can see a difference after the day, and a lot of parents have been pleased with the progress with their children the last 3 weeks.
And even when they know we're coming in, they're like, okay guys, today we're going to play, the kids that have done it before get excited, and they kind of fill the other kids who are nervous about it in on it. And it's just an atmosphere change, and it's just
like, don't be embarrassed, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be good. You'll just do this, and it's
the older kids especially do the best. And a lot of people think that the older kids don't like it,
resistant to it.
Will be resistant, but they're like, okay, fine, and then they'll start doing it.
Everyone likes to have fun.
Everybody
likes to have fun.
Even I do. Like, I like it. So.
Really, we wouldn't have known. Jesse likes to have fun. Well, that's great. It sounds like you're already early on seeing real benefits of it.
Absolutely.
And for those that want to learn more, they could go to the Theraplay website and learn more about that program specifically, or go to the Riverside website through Pathways and find out more of how we're implementing it here at Riverside. Ladies, anything I didn't mention that you want to talk about?
I just think therapy is hard enough for these kids sometimes, and it's hard enough for a clinician. So anytime you can make it fun, let's do it.
Make it fun.
Make it fun.
We all agree fun is fun. So let's have fun. Thanks for coming in and joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.